Hello, hello, welcome. Today we are going to be working on a new mini class connected with comparative adjectives. Are you ready to start? Okay, very good. Welcome to this new mini class. Today I am going to be speaking in English and I am going to be teaching you how to use comparative adjectives in English. This is a topic that I am sure you have used many times in Spanish to speak with colleagues, with patients, and that's why I have chosen this to explain it to you today to teach you how to do this in English. Let's begin the class and let's see what these comparative adjectives are about. Okay, before I say anything, I have two sentences for you. They are examples. Let's read them and then I am going to ask you something connected with them. Sentence number one says, bananas are sweeter than lemons. And sentence number two, an apple is more nutritious than a candy. Before I tell you anything, I want you to think about these two sentences and decide what is it that you are doing in these sentences. Are you comparing two different types of food? Or are you speaking about a past action? Pause the video if you need to think about this and then continue watching and see the answer. Good. So, the answer, as you have probably thought, is that we are comparing two different types of food in each of these sentences. In one, we are comparing bananas and lemons, and in the other one, we are comparing an apple and a candy. So, let's see how we can do this, okay? Now that we have seen an example, let's analyze this. Comparative adjectives are used, as we said before, to compare two different things. I'm sure that as nutritionists, you probably have used this in Spanish many times to compare two nutrients, for example, carbohydrates and protein, or to compare two different types of diets, or to compare food, okay? So, what is it that we are doing here? We are comparing two objects or two things, maybe two people too, yes? When one is more than the other. So this is what we are doing. We are comparing two things and one is more than the other. So, how do we form these comparative adjectives? Okay, we are going to analyze the form now. In English, we have two different types of adjectives. Remember that adjectives are the words that we use to describe people, to describe food, to describe places, objects. Some examples of adjectives can be tall, sweet, short, nutritious. Good? So, I said that in English we have two different types that we need to consider for this formula. The first type is short adjectives. Okay, this is the first type of adjectives that we need to consider. Short adjectives. We call short adjectives to words that, or adjectives that have 3 or 4 letters, usually. And the second type is long adjectives. Long adjectives are adjectives that have usually more than 5 letters. So why do we need to think about this if the adjective is short or long, because we are going to use a different form to compare if the adjective is short or if the adjective is long. Let's begin with short adjectives. For example, we say that bananas are sweeter than lemons. Lemons. Okay, so sweet is a short adjective. Sorry. So why is the formula for this? Okay, we are going to use the adjective. We are going to incorporate the letters ER, and then we are going to incorporate another word, which is the word than. That is how we form the sentence. So we say the first objects, bananas, then in this case are, then the adjective with these letters er, then than, and then the second object. Yes, bananas are sweeter than lemons. What happens when the adjective is long? Okay, this has a different form, okay? In the case of nutritious, for example, I say an apple is more nutritious than a candy. Nutritious is a long adjective. It has many letters. So I am not going to incorporate the letters ER to the adjective. In this case, I am going to incorporate the word more before the adjective. Do you see? So I will say, an apple is more nutritious than a candy. So in the adjective, I don't say the ER. I just add the word more before. Okay? Well, as always in English, we have some exceptions to this rule. Yes? So we are going to analyze those exceptions. First, we are going to find that some short adjectives are special. I say special because they don't take the ER. They need another change. So, for example, those adjectives that are short and finish with the letter Y, you are going to erase that Y and you are going to write IER. As you can see there in the example with happier and healthier. These are two examples. Another exception is the short adjectives that finish with the letter E. For example, the adjective large. In that case, I don't repeat the E and then the R. I just write the R. As you can see on the screen where I have spelled larger with only one E. And finally, we have another exception, which is the adjectives that have 3 or 4 letters and the last 3 letters are consonant, vowel, consonant. Okay? This is very important. The adjective, the last 3 letters have to be consonant, vowel, consonant. As in the case of big, the letters are B, which is a consonant, I, which is a vowel, and G, which is a consonant. What happens in this case? Okay, I have to double the last consonant, in this case the G, and then I incorporate the E and the R. So this happens in bigger or in thinner, as you can see in my examples there. Okay, and finally, the last exception to this rule has to do with some adjectives that are irregular. And they are good, bad, and far. In this case, the comparative form is not gooder or badder or farther. They change completely, and good becomes better, bad becomes worse, and far becomes further. So, if I want to make a comparative sentence comparing, for example, homemade food and junk food, I can say that homemade food is better than junk food. Yes, I don't say gooder, I say better, because this is the comparative form for good. Okay? So, let's move on. Okay, so now that we have explained all these rules and the exceptions to the rule, we are going to continue by practicing. I always say that the theory is one thing, but if we don't practice, then the theory stays there and we don't know if we have understood the topic or not. So I suggest that you go to the description box that you have below under the video. You click on the link, download this free worksheet, and do the activities there. In the same worksheet, you are going to find the answers so that you can check the answers yourselves. So, I hope that you have enjoyed this mini lesson, that you are now ready to use the comparative forms in English. I thank you very much for watching this lesson, and I see you in the next. Bye bye.